Okay, then, everyone, good afternoon, and thank you for joining. Thank you for joining this year's Booki Fest. I'm aware that we have some more persons who are going to join us as we go on. But for now, I'd like to just welcome you all very well to this particular um, festival, as I would call it. My name is Oluwak Pelumi, or just a bit of introduction of myself, and then we get to what we have today. I see our guest authors already in the green room. I'm going to allow you in a moment. I see we have Dr. Annie Aggi here already, and we have Christoph V already in the green room. So we're going to get to meet our guest authors for this year's BT Fest very, very soon. Okay. But I want to welcome you all. Like I did mention, my name is Oluwa Kaludi Or. I am the founder of Booki, a platform that presents an African version of Amazon. In the build up to putting up Booki, it was that I felt that we had a system that restricted people, Africans most especially, from expressing their work as best as they could express their work. And I thought it was best to create something African, something that we could relate to, making it easy for people to navigate and how to put their books online, and as well be able to get strategies on how they can sell their books. It was for that reason that Bookie was created to make that possible. I'm just going to confirm. Temileyi, please let me know if you can hear me. Temileyi is the social media person. She is behind all of the postings on social media. Did a good job there. Temileyi, let me know if you can hear me clearly so that just send me WhatsApp message so that I know that I am audible enough, and maybe I should increase my bars, reduce the treble in my bars or something. Let me know. Yeah. If you're on the call and you're on WhatsApp, you can let me know if you can hear me. Maybe I just go to that. Let me see. Mm, let me see. I don't know if it can be heard. Okay, so just in the meantime, whilst I'm waiting for a message from Timilia as to if she can hear me, it was for that reason that I set up Bookie to make sure that people can have their books ready to be sold. For this particular, okay, I see, I got your message. I got your message. Thank you very much. I can hear you, sir. Okay, this particular festival is designed to help authors meet readers, meet content creators, meet voiceover artists, meet people, meet scriptwriters as well. I see it as the coming together of different arms, different sides of writing and different writing expressions that could afford for a lot more collaboration and that could also afford for a moment of profit sharing. In other words, that if you have an author explain what the book is about to readers, what I could do is I could speed up the level of decision making. In other words, that if an author has the opportunity of speaking to readers in groups, the possibility of people buying that book is faster than when it's just put online and there is nothing spoken about the book at all. There is no interaction. There is no back and forth on what inspires the book, what's the brain behind the book, why should people get the book. I figure that may be quite difficult if we don't create a platform. So it was that reason that I set up Bookie Fest so that authors who have their books on Bookie specifically can can see get to see readers and also get to explain what their book is about to the readers. Then that could speed up the rate of buying the book. Before we get to all we have, I was online this morning just looking for something to start off this particular festival. And in my research, in my search for what could be played, I came across a video. If you know anything about Cowbopedia is a math competition that affords for young people to be able to compete on a national scale. In other words, that young people from across Nigeria are being invited to compete on a national scale. And what I did was that I came across a video online of the last one that was held. This video dates back 5 months ago, and I was surprised as to something powerful that happened there. So I'm going to start off with that particular video and have you all see it. Okay, have you all seen it? It's going to blow your mind most most definitely, I guess. Most definitely, it's going to blow your mind most definitely. So I'm going to play the video. I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to share my screen in a bit. I'm going to share my screen in a bit. Where are you? Okay, cool. So let me share the video now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome. Okay. Haha. Let's get to, I'm going to start off now. Pretty much. So this is it. This is it. This is it. So let me see if
International school, and I speak French.
Okay? It's time to meet our geniuses.
Hi everyone, my name is Akbar Udo Halil. I'm from Wheeler International School, and I speak French.
Okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Akuma Gibbs. I'm from Grace Drive School. I'm a winner.
Hi everyone, my name is Umar Miskia and I'm from Beaufort Modern International College. I'm good.
Hi everyone, my name is Precious Suze. I'm from Ebenezer International School.
Hi everyone, my name is Haruna Salvi from the Ambassadors College and I'm here to win this.
Hello everyone, my name is Divya Agmokan. I'm from Akelego Post School.
Hi, my name is Mike Akunle. I'm from Gaiacho Student School and I'm here to win.
Hi everyone, my name is Khaled Jaya and I'm from Medjugorje Grammar School. I'm here to win.
Hello everyone, my name is Aina Motsobisi. I'm from Great Beginning Academy and Montessori School and I'm a champion.
Hi everyone, my name is Sochima Ekweme. I'm from Evergreen College, Enugu, and I'm the best.
Hi everyone, my name is Adioli Peace. I'm from Working International School and I'm the winner.
So now
I paused the video there intentionally just to explain what has just happened and what will happen after this. So this is, like I said to you, Carbopedia. These guys these are young people who have been brought on board to compete for the grand prize. The first thing that has happened here is that they have introduced themselves. In other words, they all said their names and then also then made an affirmation. Now, what had happened was that I don't know if you paid attention to the affirmation they made. I'm sorry, I have to start again because I should have explained to you what I expected to see in the video. Listen to the affirmations. Now mark the names of the people that made very strong affirmations and then see what happens eventually. So I'm going to start again. Then we'll then kick off. Strong stuff here, and I don't want you to miss it. Let's start again now.
it's time to meet our geniuses.
Sorry.
Hi everyone, my name is Akbar Udo Halil. I'm from Wheeler International School, and I speak French.
Okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Akuma Gibbs. I'm from Grace Drive School. I'm a winner.
Hi everyone, my name is Umar Miskia and I'm from Beaufort Modern International College. I'm good.
Hi everyone, my name is Precious Suze. I'm from Ebenezer International School.
Hi everyone, my name is Haruna Salvi from the Ambassadors College and I'm here to win this.
Hello everyone, my name is Divya Agmokan. I'm from Akelego Post School.
Hi, my name is Mike Akunle. I'm from Gaiacho Student School and I'm here to win.
Hi everyone, my name is Khaled Jaya and I'm from Medjugorje Grammar School. I'm here to win.
Hello everyone, my name is Aina Motsobisi. I'm from Great Beginning Academy and Montessori School and I'm a champion.
Hi everyone, my name is Sochima Ekweme. I'm from Evergreen College, Enugu, and I'm the best.
Hi everyone, my name is Adioli Peace. I'm from Working International School and I'm the winner.
So now let's get into the games. This round is called Fastest Fingers, and here is how it works. Here's your first question. Find the reciprocal of 2.5, A 0.4, B 0.04, C 0.004, and D 0.0004. Looking for the three fastest. All right, that sound says your time is up. Here's the correct answer. A, 0.4. So here are the first three qualifiers for the next round. Salvin did it in 1.82 seconds, Sochima did it in 1.90 seconds, and Halel 1.95 seconds. A round of applause. All right, for the others, let's move on to question 2. Which of these is the odd one out? A, arc, B, diameter, C, circumference, D, chord. Fastest fingers. Lock in your answers to move on to the next round. Let's see what the correct answer is. Chord D. Now let's see which three of you got the answer in the fastest time. Divine in 2 seconds, 51. Gives in 2 seconds, 43. And Ahinoa. To all three of you. 5 contestants are still left, but we only have room for 2 in the next round. We'll find out who those 2 will be with the third question. All right, contestants, here is question number 3. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are called A, recurring decimals, B, whole numbers, C, natural numbers, D, integers. Looking for the fastest 2 to answer that. Okay, C, natural numbers. Let's see who the top 2 finishers are. That's Peace and Precious. We got an applause for both of them. Okay. Well, that means Miss Kia, Malik, and Hannah, unfortunately, will not be making it through to the next round. Can we give the third one a big round of applause, please? It goes Sachima.
B.
Sachima says B, achieving collective goals. That is correct. And I think that is it for questions from the Cowbellpedia Bank. And of course, as you can see on the leaderboard, unfortunately, Divine and Precious have the 2 lowest scores. And this is where we say goodbye to them. Can we give them a big round of applause? All right, while the applause.
Okay, then I hope you saw that from the start to the very end. I see that more persons are came to mind when that was being played, when I saw that at first. The fact is, if you paid attention to about Salvi, I'm talking about Spochima, I'm talking about Peace. If you listen to their confession there, they made certain strong statements. Like, I am here to win this. The other lady said that I am the best. The last guy said, I am the winner. And guess what? They all got to the final of this particular episode. The 3 of them who made powerful confessions about themselves, about who they are, the capacity that they have, the tendency for them to win, got to that particular point. And I'm starting off on this note just to let you know that usually what you say, you become that thing. And if you're not careful, the words you say will obstruct you from getting to the next phase. You need to release words into the atmosphere that can help you accelerate and do bigger things. So, in the light of positive confession this afternoon, I like those of us watching at the moment and those who will watch after this time. Just write in the comments, I am the best, I'm incredible. Say a couple of things about yourself that you believe. I know the year is almost we're getting to its end, and we are pretty much getting anxious and getting disturbed. Level of pressing is now higher, and it becomes a must for us to be able to say words about ourselves. So I want to see us in the comments writing words of affirmation. I'm incredible. I'm special. I'm fantastic. As we proceed now. Okay, so now since we haven't watched the video already, it is time to have our authors share with us their story. Now, for me, it's that I really would not want this to. I would not want us to stay for long on the call. I would like for us to hit it as fast as we can hit it so that we are all good and can return to all we have to do for today. Okay. Given the roster that we have, we're going to have Chisum Veronica come first, and then we're going to have Dr. Annie Agi come next. Now, if you have questions to ask at any point in time in our conversation, do well to let me know. Send it to, just write it in the comments of the YouTube video. Temileyi would copy and share with me so that I'm able to read it out. Amazing. I see I'm special there. Thank you very much. Omoni Oluwatobi for that particular. Okay, I can even see the answers here. So beautiful. So send me the questions you may have in the chat room of this particular video, and I will read it out as soon as I see it. Okay, so let's have our first guest who will be we're going to be asking some questions here today. He is now in the room. Chiso Veronica, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good to hear your voice for the very first
Thank you so
time.
much.
Yes, so and then happy new month to you. How was your September?
It was great. It was my birthday, so yeah, it was amazing.
Hey, what day was that again?
19.
19th. I hope you enjoy. I hope this year's birthday you celebrated it differently.
Yeah, I went to Abeokuta. I climbed
Oh
the
wow.
rock for the
Oh nice.
first time. I climbed the Lumo for the first time. So yeah.
Very nice. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad you had a remarkable birthday this year. Okay, let's talk about your book. From revealed to redeemed. It looks like a book that talks about a sinner who is now a saint. I don't know. Tell us, how did you come about the book? What inspired the book?
My inspiration first came from God because of how I used to live. So the book is
Mm,
basically talking about me. I used to dress in a certain way. I used to love mini skirts a lot. I used to fancy and loved showing cleavages just for validations and all of those things. So the inspiration behind the book came, I think 2 3 years ago. The Lord told me to, that He has called me to build young girls, and He gave me
mm,
the instruction to write the book, my story. I held on for a
mm,
while because fear of who is going to read it. Is this really worth it?
mm.
Eventually, I obeyed, and yeah. So basically, that's the inspiration behind it.
Okay, well, you broke a table there. You're taking a table. You mentioned miniskirts, and is it a miniskirt where miniskirt is bad or something?
It's not bad if you're wearing it in your house. For a lot of people, it's just actually common sense because aside the part of being a born again Christian, you don't want
Mm,
a prostitute is known by their outfits. A mad person is known by
mm,
the way they appear. So if you
mm,
want to be respected, because no right person would see you dressed in a certain way and show you the kind of respect you are expecting to get. When I was wearing that, I had an encounter with some people, and when they
mm,
saw me, they were like, "You like this, the way you are dressed," because I was wearing a miniskirt at the time.
mm.
It speaks. Our dressing speaks before we do. So, yeah, it may not be bad if you're wearing it in closed doors, but outside you are creating an impression that is not proper and is not going to be a good impression out there. So yeah.
Okay, okay, because when you talk about miniskirt, when they talk about miniskirt, usually that's a very touchy subject. People are very careful how you say miniskirt. But how short should the skirt be, though? How short should the skirt be?
I want to believe everybody knows what is right, but anything above the knee is mini. Anything above
Mm,
the knee. Um, Basically, because you can't bend properly, you can't sit comfortably. And the funny thing is, when we even wear those things, we tend to drag them down. When it's going up,
mm.
we drag them down. So that's the
Like,
funny thing.
that's true. That's true. Okay, so anything above the knee is too short. But
Yeah.
again, I think your story is worth sharing. When you were at it then, what would you say inspired you to dress that way then? What inspired you to dress the way you dressed back in the day?
I felt that when I dressed that way, I would be noticed. I wanted the attention of men, of guys. I
Mm,
wanted to sing. So it was what triggered it. And aside that, everyone around me, my peers, were dressing in the same manner. So I said, why not? If not. So whenever I go to the market, I just wanted to feel among. I wanted to be seen. So yeah, that's why I dressed the way I did.
Yeah. It was for attention seeking. And
Yeah.
did that stem from the place of low self-esteem, or you had an experience that made you say, see, I'm going to get guys by all means?
Not necessarily. I didn't have any of that. I think it was because, okay, so I grew up with my brothers around. At a point,
Okay.
I was a tomboy. So I think trying to mix it up, and the part where I have to be feminine, as a boy, as a tomboy, I was covering up. So I felt to be a girl, you have to, open up, open some part of your body. Yeah, so it was not necessarily because of low self-esteem or anything like that. It was more like feeling among. I think that's the main key.
Okay. You wanted to feel among. You wanted to
Yeah,
feel among where. But did you then get the attention you were seeking given the way you were dressed?
I did, but it was not lasting. The attention I wanted to get was supposed to last, but I
Mm,
didn't get that. That's the funny thing, because a lot of people who even approached me, they
yeah.
were not, I was not a born again at the time, but whatever morals I had was still kind of intact. So
Okay.
when they approached me, they just wanted something that was not in line with my morals. So I said,
Mm,
nah. But I kept on anyways. I kept on until I became born again.
wow. Okay. Because it's amazing how that even in that state of mind, you were able to still identify the things that you will not do, the things that you can do, the things that
Yeah.
you wouldn't allow. Amazing. But let's not talk about what chapter of the book for you was very difficult to write.
Uh, I think
Was the
at
most
first,
difficult for you to write?
I
Yeah,
think
tell me.
at first they were all difficult. I will be very honest with you.
Okay.
At chapters were all difficult, but um, I didn't take up to a week when I decided to eventually write it, because in my head everything I wanted to put out there was already in my head.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I took time to do was, the editing and proofreading and all of those things. But I don't
Okay.
think chapter was exactly hard for me to write, because it was my
Okay.
story, so I could relate it.
Mm. Okay, but let's take it chapter by chapter now. So I know you have a copy of your book already. You're going to stick to each chapter of the book and just summarize what it is that you are trying to communicate from each chapter. Okay, so let's from chapter one. Let's go.
Please give me a minute.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm to summarize, or you're going to ask me a question?
No, you just summarize chapter one. You summarize. I ask you a question, or if I have one, and then you go to the next chapter. Yeah.
So chapter one was,
Hmm.
dressing for validation in a world obsessed with appearances. So it's that chapter was basically talking about how I was lost with looking for validation. How the people I was around, their dress sense were screaming, um, I want to be available. I was screaming, I am
I am
available.
available, and that's
Yeah,
it.
I am available. That's so I wanted to be that. But my first chapter is trying to help us reflect on the fact that um, there was no need. I didn't need to feel that way. I didn't need to
Okay.
dress in a certain way for validation. I don't need
Okay.
to conform to the world, basically. Then chapter 2, the illusion of freedom in dressing indecent. Many of us, we feel that when we dress indecent, we are free. When we dress a certain way, nobody's holding us back. We are expressing the way that we feel. But this chapter, it was an eye opener for me. I realized that dressing this way, it had a cost. It had nothing to do with freedom. I misunderstood what freedom meant, So it's a chapter that is letting us know that freedom is different. It's not in exposing body, is not in thinking that when you dress indecent, you are free. So basically, that's that for chapter 2. Chapter 3, realizing the disadvantages of indecent dressing. So I think at this point, I've gotten to that place where I know now that this is not it. I have been misjudged because of how I dressed. I told you about an encounter with some people. They saw me in a way that I didn't like. So at this point, I began to see that no, this shouldn't be it. So chapter is basically a message that indecent dressing gives people another impression about us that we're not. So chapter
Definitely.
4 is a life-changing encounter with Christ and finding true worth. So this is when I had an encounter with Christ. So I became born again in 2016. This is 9 years now.
Oh wow.
When I it was hard at first because I loved those outfits so much. I would never have believed that I would wear anything long. So when I became born again and had an encounter with Christ, one of the first things he told me was to trash those outfits. So this brings to a point where I would always say that you can't have the Holy Spirit and dress in a certain way. He will not allow you. Except you choose to just ignore whatever instruction is given. So this chapter made me realize, when I encountered Christ, I realized that my identity have been redefined. It took away my focus from now the outward validation to inner worth. I realized that I no longer needed the words validation to be who I was. I no longer needed what those people out there had to say about me. Whatever God says about me was enough for me. So that's basically chapter 4. Chapter 5 is embracing modesty as a reflection of inner transformation. In this chapter, I realized that modesty was not a set of rules. It was a heart posture. I can be stylish and still modest. God gave me an understanding that He blessed me initially, right from time. So before I became this far, I used to dress my brothers up. I used to pick out their outfits, even my friends. I used to do all of those things. So I realized yet again that, God has blessed me with this gift. Why not put it into practice and make people around me know that embracing modesty is not a restriction. Precious, please. Sorry, hold on. Precious. So it made me realize that embracing modesty is a reflection of inner transformation, not a restriction. I saw it as not being a rule of dressing in a particular way, because we often that modesty is only when we wear certain type of outfits, cover our hair and do all of those things. But I got to express modesty in a way that reflects my values and my beliefs. I could style and still be modest. So chapter 6 is building a new style, fashion, and faith in harmony. Yeah, it's a testimony for me. Like I said earlier, I could now style and still be modest. This chapter became like a testimony to the beauty of modesty. I wanted people to see that they could dress in ways that honor God and still embrace their love for fashion. A lot of people, they'll say modesty is boring. Being a Christian is boring. No, it's not boring. You can dress and be stylish. You can be modest and be stylish. You don't need, it is not you dress in the word standard that you think you're stylish. No, modesty is beautiful, extremely beautiful, and it is not restrictive. It isn't restrictive. So this chapter is a way of helping us know that you can build style, you can build fashion, and it can go hand in hand with faith at the same time. Yeah, so chapter 7 is standing out with purpose, not for attention. This chapter is just basically about dressing modestly and how it helps me stand out. If I come out in a room by God's grace, I stand out every time. People see me and like, how do you do this? How do you combine this? How do you dress so modestly and still look this stylish? So this chapter is a way of reminding us that you can stand out, with purpose, not for attention. So when they see you and they see you in a way that pleases God, not in a way that the world used to see me. So they were not seeing me for the attention that I was seeking. They are seeing me now that this your outfit is for a purpose, is for a reason. They are seeing modesty, not the attention that I was looking for at the time. So yeah, that's basically what this chapter is about. And chapter 8, the royal identity, dressing as daughters of the king. So I believe that because God is king and we as his daughters, we are princesses. If you go to palaces, there are ways that princesses dress. They don't dress anyhow. They don't expose their cleavages. They have a certain way they dress. Look at this lady, late Queen Elizabeth's daughter-in-law. There's a way she dresses when she comes out. You know that this one stands out. There is something about her, whether she's on casual, whether she's on any other attire. She's royalty stand out. So you can't say your father is a king and you're dressed in like the daughter of someone who owns a motel. You can't say your father is a king and you're dressing like um a prostitute. When you come out, they see you and the first impression they have is that this person is a prostitute. So this chapter is for our realization that we are royalties and our father is a king. This modesty in this sense is more than clothing. We have to increase our worth as God's children and dress appropriately. So chapter 9 is sharing the message in modesty. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier that God gave me an instruction to build young girls with modesty. He has called me to build young girls, maybe not necessarily young girls alone, but women, to make them realize. It got so deep that even my project in school was about modern dressing. Even my project about indecent dressing. So this particular chapter 9 is basically that's how I share the message. So I dress and I post it on my platform, Instagram, whatever platform that I have, to to put it out there, preach it and know that for everyone to know that you can be stylish and still maintain modesty.
Still be modest.
Yeah. So chapter 10 is no gain in decency, only freedom in Christ. Sorry, no gain in indecency, only freedom in Christ. I can say that there is no lasting gain in dressing indecently. Like I said, earlier, it only gives the validation that you want for now. It doesn't last. It's not, there's no lasting freedom in it. The only freedom that we can get, our freedom, true freedom, is in Christ. True beauty and worth of a person comes from a heart that is transformed by Christ, not from um dress. Even when we dress modestly and decently, we have to still know and realize it, that true freedom is in Christ. Because there are people who are moralists who actually dress very decently but are not in Christ, and they will still look for something that is missing. So the only way we can get true freedom and true worth and true validation is when we are in Christ, not by our outfits, not by any other thing, but strictly in Christ. So yeah, that's basically all about the 10 chapters of my book. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for taking us through that. That was a good listen. I'm guessing that anybody who has read the book, I have a couple of persons who have read the book, and they came to me to say, that was a good book. That was a good book that they just read, and it looks like listening to you already. If you haven't read the book, it looks like you've read the book already, given the way it took us through from chapter to chapter of that particular book. Just to remind you out there that you can get the book on themainbookie.com. You can get the book right now on themainbookie.com. Let me see if I could ask Tammy to okay, let me just post a link myself to um, the chat room there, so that if you want to get the book, you could just click on this particular link and you will be led to the page that has the book there. It's for free. It's for free. I will just ask you two more questions, and then I would invite Dr. Ari Agi to come up for our own session. You did mention that it got to the point that you realized that it's that being assured of yourself should not come from the outside. In other words, that you don't need to seek validation from the outside. It now started inside for you. And at was it at the point of you meeting Christ that you realized that, or you had people around you who started to speak to you as well? Were there external voices that encouraged you in that regard?
Oh yeah, I had people who were talking to me about how I used to dress, but it became
Mm.
more clear. They were talking, but I was not actually. I was listening, but I was not. I was not walking towards whatever they were saying. It was after I became born again that I came to a conclusion and a total realization that okay, this has to be it. I just had to do this. So yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think you missed anything in the time you were used to dress in the way you used to dress? In other words, that I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and I said to the person, I said the most painful door in life that will close is a door you didn't know was open for you. So in other words, that people look at you from afar and say, this lady, I would have loved to approach her, but the way she's dressed right now, I don't think I want my wife to dress that way. And then the person doesn't even come at all to even do such. So do you think that there were doors that closed up and that you missed out on?
I don't think so. Because if I thought anything, I think better doors have opened for me. If I thought there was any door that I missed out on, I think better ones have opened for me now. So I don't think I missed out on anything.
Oh, okay, okay then. Now you said you were sent to young ladies out there. Is that something you've started in that regard?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You said you were sent to young girls to inspire them in a particular way. Is
Oh,
that
okay.
something you've started in that regard?
Yeah, but I've not been consistent with it due to work. But
Okay.
hopefully by next year, God willing, I would put in the work. So I usually go to schools to speak to
Mm,
young girls about modesty, and I also have the intention of starting my own um, modest academy where you can model for people who want to model and still wants to keep their morals intact. um, I'm intending to start something of that sort. So yeah, next year, God willing, we'll put everything in place.
Okay, 2026, 2026. Now, I will ask you one final question, which is that something you want to say to first to ladies who are on this call? I hear that there is somebody who has sent a question. I'm just going to read out the question. Let me check my. Yeah, okay, wow. 4 questions here. Amazing. 4 questions. Are you saying, somebody say, can you please send this to the woman? Okay, cool. Are you saying miniskirt are bad in a way or something? I think she already mentioned that whatever is too short is way too short. So she's not saying that miniskirts are totally bad. What is miniskirt even? So if you want to say something to that, let me know. I'm going to read out all the 4 questions. How can we move the conversation from judging clothing like miniskirts to understanding the story behind personal choices? Let me read that again. How can we move the conversation from judging clothing like miniskirts? This person must like miniskirt. The person who has this question to understanding the story behind personal choices. So, how do you know that a choice of wearing miniskirt is wrong? Yeah, I think that's the person's question. You can go on and answer the question now.
Well, I want to believe that a lot of persons who ask certain questions know the right thing to do, right? You know, you know something is wrong when it's wrong. Now, for instance, you leave your house wearing something and you are dragging it down. You already know it's not a comfortable outfit. And I'm going to come from the angle of being a Christian, because that's the number one way I could relate. Because I don't expect someone who is not born again to want to do certain things or even obey the leading. We all have a conscience. Anyways, aside that, we all have a conscience. But one thing I am sure of is the Holy Spirit will tell you. You will know. You will not be comfortable wearing certain things outside your house, except you just do not want to listen. You know, between your choices, we are humans. We want something the way we want something, right? But when we have a conscience and the Holy Spirit in us, now I always say this, that whatever you cannot wear and follow Jesus out, when you are going out, always have it at the back of your mind that Jesus is going out with me, because he's with you every day. He's in you. You are portraying, you are his image. If you are Jesus in a woman, would Jesus dress that way? Don't do what Jesus will not do. So I want to believe that you have a conscience, and if you are not born again, you have a conscience. If you are born again, you have the Holy Spirit in you to tell you and to let you know what is wrong. Even if you don't want to listen, someone around you would say it. There is some sort of way you will know. You just know. I don't know if that
Okay.
answers.
Yeah, I believe that is clear. I think you did answer in regards to if a person is a Christian, there is the Holy Spirit in you that is able to help you decipher if the clothes is too short or not. And then for a person who is not a Christian, you did mention that the conscience
Yeah,
is
to
there
also
to be able
ask,
to tell you
to ask
what is right.
it, you can also ask yourself, why am I wearing this? What's the reason behind? Because when I was wearing it, I wanted to be seen. That's why I was wearing it. I wanted men to see me. I was wearing it for attention. So whatever you wear, why am I wearing this? Why am I wearing this miniskirt? So you get your answer from that question.
Okay, I guess this answer of yours has just summarized, has answered all the other questions that have been sent already. So, what would you say to readers, people who were intending to get your book? What would you say to them? Yeah, that's one. Number two, is there something on your heart you would like to share if you were standing before 1,000 young ladies? Yeah.
I think that question is my answer is going to cover both.
Okay.
Um, I would just say that first, God loves you, and you don't need man's validation to feel beautiful or loved. You only need what God has said about you, and He has told you that He has created you in His image and in your likeness. You are good. The Bible says that he made you and he called you good, beautiful. You are beautiful, regardless of what anyone says. And modesty is not restrictive. You can be modest and still be stylish. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Chisom Veronica, for speaking with us today, sharing with us the inspiration behind your book. We are delighted, and we hope that whatever it is that you intend to set up with regards to the revelation and inspiration from this book, we hope that it flourishes, and we hope for the very best. I'm hoping to read your next book on from redeemed to revived. Just to.
Thank you
All
so
right, thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you for having
Okay,
me.
then, thank awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, it is time to invite.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Dr.
Good
Annie.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to
Yeah,
this
no, I just wanted
one.
to
Yeah,
just say just one.
you want to say something? Hello. Okay, I cannot hear you anymore.
Can you hear
Mm,
me? Can you
I
hear
can hear
me?
you now. I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I said I just wanted to weigh in on the conversation about miniskirts. I found it interesting.
Okay,
So
to go on.
it's quite, in addition to all the author said, which is very profound. I just wanted to
Yeah.
add that the conversations about modesty is not really so much about the length of the skirt, but also about what your values in life are. Because, like she said at some point, you are you are how you dress,
Yeah.
and people are going
Yeah.
to judge you how you look. And then you're
Mm,
also going to ask yourself, what values do I hold? I lecture students and I drive. That's a very funny comparison, but I will explain why. I sit behind the steering wheels and I see my fellow women immodestly dressed. And it's an
mm,
affront to me, and I'm a woman. So then I imagine my male colleagues who are also driving, seeing the
yeah.
same thing, and what that makes them feel, how that makes them feel, And I mean, it's not rocket science. Men are attracted to what they see. Women may be
Absolutely.
attracted to who touches them. So the question to the person wearing that mini skirt that makes her look immodest will be, what values do you hold? Is
Mm,
it that you think it's okay to trigger somebody, just because you want to wear a short skirt? So fine, you have your personal choice to do as you like. But even in law, we say your right should end where my nose stops. Your right to extend my hand. The
mm.
issues of modesty also cross into lines of even empathy,
Empathy
because
there.
the male will never behave like the female. So as much
Okay.
as I can, I should help him stay on the straight and narrow. If my personal choices will make him go off, and I don't say this because I'm making excuses for men, it is what it is. Men are attracted by what they see. It's what it is. We can stay here and argue all this story. It is what it is. Just the same way that women may not be attracted so much, but when you touch them, they will. That is how their anatomy is. So for me, it's not just about even your personal choices. It's more about what values you hold.
What
So I
values
just
you all
wanted
think?
the young
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
so on. So it's bigger than the dressing or your personal choices. It's about what values do I hold? What
What values you
influences do I want to do to pass out?
Yes.
And
Yes.
influences. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I'm guessing if Veronica was still on this call, she wouldn't object to anything you said. It just buttresses the point that they just have to help the men live a good life, But welcome already, Dr. Annie Agi, for on the Booki Fest for 2025, and thank you for publishing your book on the Booki website. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and my question is drawn, I guess, from your book title, The Act of Being Nigerian. But first, you mentioned that you are a lecturer. Could you just introduce yourself to us. Go.
Okay, yes, I was unmuting. Hello, everybody. My name is Anne Agi. I'm a
Okay.
lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 21 years. I lecture
Oh,
at the
wow.
University of Calabar. I lecture
Mm.
space law, I lecture intellectual property law, and I lecture criminal law. And I also
Okay.
happen to be the marshal in charge of dressing. You know, for law students, there's a dress code.
No wonder you had to come up with your koboko. That
Exactly.
was good.
So,
Good.
and indeed, even for the students, it is saying that your skirt should be at least 2 inches below your knee. So I understood what the other author was saying. Once it's above your knee, it's not regulation attire anymore. That's what we say. You know, and the struggle actually is always about wanting the ladies to comply with the regulation attire and still express themselves. They are young people. They think mini skirts is the way to go. But I usually say to them, it helps me when I ask them to look at the men in their class. There is not one law student that comes to school improperly dressed. Not one.
See that.
And the male are supposed to be in a white shirt, black trousers, black belt, black tie, black socks, and black shoes. No matter how much of a hurry a male law student is, he presents himself like that. It is the females that will come with those mini skirts, different colored shirt, funny hairstyle.
Okay.
You know, so it's a conversation we should have. Yeah.
We should have. Absolutely. I think that it's also beautiful to hear that this is coming from a woman, because sometimes when this thing comes up, they say, why can't the man hold himself? But the way the lady is dressed, I guess the man has to take responsibility and keep himself together. But again, it's also best when we don't increase the temptation for a man to be able to do what he shouldn't do. But let's circle back to the act of being Nigerian. What inspired first the title of that book? Can you hear me? Dr. Anne, can you hear me? Okay, I cannot hear you anymore. Can you hear me? Oh, wow. Are you on mute? Let me see if you're on mute.
Hello?
Yeah. Dr. Anne, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Dr. Anne, can you hear me? I guess the internet is not at its best state at the moment. Let me see. Dr. Anne, can you hear me? Oh, wow. I cannot hear you. Let me see if you joined through. Okay.
I can hear you.
Hello, Dr.
Can you
Anne.
hear me?
Yes,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear you
me?
now. I can hear you
Yes,
now.
sorry.
Yes.
Someone called. Someone called. Sorry. So please go on, sir. You were asking.
Yes. What inspired the title of your book, The Act of Being Nigerian?
Okay. Well, apart from being a lecturer and a lawyer, I'm also really visible on social media.
Okay.
And one thing I find really amusing and amazing is the nature of the average Nigerian. We are very funny. We are very sarcastic. We are also very intelligent. You know, just being on the streets of social media and listening to the way Nigerians react to things, whether it is when they are teasing Ghanaians or how resilient we are about NEPA. It's just okay. It's not working, but it's okay. For generation upon generation, if NEPA comes, our children know to shout up NEPA. We're just going. And despite our difficulties, our challenges, we are conquering new ground. It's tough, but it is what it is. We are doing the best that we can. And I just thought that was pretty amazing. We are resilient people. And so I studied a couple of what we do, and then I just put it together in a book. So that's what inspired, the art of being. It's an art on its own because we behave the same way everywhere. I was listening to one of these international comedians the other day, and he said the best group of people he liked in Africa, or even in the world, were Nigerians. Wow. We are never put down. We never think ourselves as inferior. We don't even know that we are inferior if anybody thinks we are. I remember a couple of years ago when I traveled, and I think we were just about 7 Black students in an entire conference. I was leading my students at the time. And then a Black American man, came to me, and then he was sharing their stories of racism with us and all that and all that. And then he turned to me and he said, but you don't seem phased at it at all. You don't. I said, because I'm not even aware that is a problem. I mean, I'm walking on the street, I'm Black. I'm not staring at you because you're white. So I'm wondering, why would you be staring at me because I'm Black? So Nigerians are that way. We are just a wonderful set of people. We excel everywhere we are. But there's an art to it. There's a way we behave. And I thought that art should be codified into a book. So
into a book for the world to read. Amazing stuff. And I think I do agree with you in the fact that we are very funny the way we feel. I saw a tweet some days ago where it was said that the president's wife gave a speech, and then at some point he said that it feels lonely in the Aso Rock. It feels lonely in Aso Rock. And then somebody commented, I just commented and said, "Ma, if it is too lonely in Aso Rock, you can move to Gwarimpa. You will have many neighbors there." It was very funny when I realized that we always find funny stuff in everything that happens around us. But again, it is for us now to speak of different parts of your book and how the different things you said Nigerians do, how Nigerians act, and to see how that can educate somebody who wants to study Nigerian. So let's talk about 4 things that you wrote in that book that you think are critical to how Nigerians act everywhere. Oh, I guess she's out. She's off again. Let me see. I can hear you now. Hey, did you hear the question I asked?
Yes, you asked about 4 things. I heard you.
Yes, please go on now.
Yes, so I think the first thing is what I talked about, our resilience. Nigerians are very resilient people. To tell you the truth, nothing is working. You pay for light yourself, pay for water yourself, you pay for private schools for your children yourself. If the roads are bad, the community comes together. The worst is the transformer. Everybody buys transformer for their streets these days. But some other people will,
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, please pick it up. Yeah.
Yes, I said even when we were buying fuel 1,000 per liter, somehow we survived. So I think the first thing about the average Nigerian is our resilience. And that's something I want young people to. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go on. I can hear you. Yes, please go on.
Yes. Yeah, it's something I want young people to emulate. Resilience is a good trait. No matter what life throws at you, like we say, you just take them and make lemonade. If life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. Yeah. Don't ever be put down by what comes your way. There are people who are born deaf and dumb. There are people who tell you that most of people will say to you that most of Handel's and Mozart, I think either Handel or Mozart, most of his compositions, when he got older, he was blind. But somehow he used his senses to write those notes and all that. So for me, the first thing about Nigerians, we are resilient. They're very resilient people. Just recently, I was with a law school student of mine who came down with a debilitating disease. He has what you call motor neuron syndrome, which basically is a disease that just affects every motor object in your body. That is every object that moves. Every object that moves in your body, that disease affects you. So you're healthy, but you can't move your fingers, you can't move your toes, you can't move your knee, you can't move any joints, your neck. So you're just like getting stiff every day, and it's progressive, right?
Wow.
So, but despite this disease, this fellow goes to law school, writes the bar exams, and passes, even better than those people that are, healthy.
Right.
And people are saying, you can't write the bar exams. You can't. And he says, I can. There's nothing wrong with my head. It's just my body. And at the time he wrote the bar exams, only his thumbs were working.
Wow.
And he says, I will use it. When the director general asks him, how are you going to write? You're supposed to write. He says, I will use my thumb to type. Just give me a keyboard. And I gave him a keyboard, and look, would you believe, he did type and he did pass, made a second class over, better than some other people. And in the law school, we like to say anybody who makes a 2-2 is actually a 2-1 because you're graded by your lowest grade. So it is what it is. That's how Nigerians are. That's one example. Then our second trait, I think, is still our intelligence. Nigerians are intelligent as a people. Either book intelligence, like when we study, or even native intelligence. I need you to think of your grandparents, what they achieved without civilization, what they knew, the wisdom they had. Nigerians are very rich in those kinds of wise thoughts and wise sayings. So that for me is something that amazes me about the average Nigerian. I read them on social media. I read their thoughts. I read the how they. I mean, it's just fantastic when I read from Nigerians in all walks of life. They do very well. That's the second thing. Then I think the third thing for us as a people will be our spirituality.
Okay.
And which I wanted to showcase in the book. Nigerians are deeply spiritual people. You may make fun of them, but it has its own virtues. Faith is very important to the average Nigerian. That's why you hear things like, by the grace of God, good night, we will wake up tomorrow by the grace of God. Do you understand? And those kinds of things. So that is how we are as a people. So our faith is very strong for us, and it's a good thing. Because, in those days, we used to think that, the white man wasn't really into religion, and so it worked well for him. But that's not really true. If you really study the greatest civilizations, even now, of the world, the Chinese, they are also Buddhists. They are also very rich on their traditions and on their religion. It's just they are not just Christians, so you think they are not following those paths. They are. They are following their Buddhist paths, their Buddhist tenets. So religion also helps. The only thing is you keep a balance. Don't overdo it. And then, like I like to say to people, what God has already given to you, don't spend all the time in religion asking him to give you. That is the mistake fanatics make. Like, God has given you 10,000 naira, you collect it from him, you told him thank you. Then in the morning, when you want to use 1,000, you go and ask him again, can I use 1,000? In the afternoon, you ask him again. That's basically what we do. Most of us as Christians in Nigeria. But way apart from the abuse, we are deeply connected to the source of the divine. We are deeply connected to the Godhead, as it were, which is a good thing. We are not arrogant like that to think we can achieve anything on our own. Whatever we achieve, we attribute it to God, which is fine on his own. Then the fourth thing about that book, which I wanted to project, even in a sarcastic way, is that Nigerians are also deeply corrupt. And I don't know if that corruption is now our way of life because we are used to it. It is in the way we behave. So if you look at the chapter where I talk about weddings, how our aunties and guests behave at weddings, it's a Nigerian tradition. So when your mother goes for August meeting or goes for anything, you in the house, you're waiting for her to bring the meat pie for you, wrapped in a small pack. You didn't go, but you will get something. It's the same way how we go for weddings and we collect one plate, then we collect 2 plates. I was teasing my niece the other day. We went for a training somewhere, and then we had opportunities to get T-shirts at a minimal rate because it was like giveaway. The conference having ended, they just wanted to do away with the conference T-shirts. So they were going for as minimal as 2,000 naira, very good quality. And then so I took one, and then I left. And then after a while, she calls me. The organizers had gone, but I had their number. Then she calls me, my cousin, and she says, please, I'm going to send you money. Can you ask them to send us 5 T-shirts? I'm taking one for my elder brother, one for my younger brother, one for my... And I said to my cousin, Judith, If you alone who came for this conference takes 5 shirts for your family members, we did go around other conferees who may want to take 1 or 2. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, but
Hello?
please go on, please.
Yes. Okay, so we are that way. I don't know if it's poverty that has caused it, but whatever we get, we want to get so much for ourselves, get extra food at weddings, get extra when we're in political office, we want to get extra money for ourselves. So for me, I reference that in in several parts of the book, in using sarcasm, of course. And it permeates everything. You want to do ashwebi, you want to do wedding, so you do ashwebi. Your aunties will get angry if you don't buy. Meanwhile, if the material in the market is 20,000, the bride will sell it for 50. So I'm not just coming to your wedding, I'm also making money for you in a fraudulent kind of manner. So I talk about all of those. And if you dare not buy the bombastic side eye they will give you at that event, you will think that you are the worst person in the world. So sometimes we are just compelled to buy, make we not look different. So those are the 4 things I think that spring up, apart from the fact that we're also very intelligent, funny, and sarcastic.
Okay. Thank you very much for summarizing that already 4 things that you believe apply to Nigerians. And in other words, that anybody who reads your book and puts it side by side, looking at individuals around, can already tell that person over there is a Nigerian. And the person can ask why. They look at these 4 things, check this out. We are resilient, like you mentioned. We are funny people, very funny. We're spiritual, and they are also corrupt, because I don't want to put that, personalize
It is what
that.
it is. Sometimes I don't know if the corruption is a blessing, because that's just how we are. I don't know whether we can do away with it. I don't know.
Okay, but do you think that entirely there's a thing wrong about being spiritual? An adjustment. What can we adjust in terms of our spirituality? Are we more religious than spiritual?
That's not an easy question, as you think, whether we are more religious than spiritual. Because initially I just wanted to say yes, but I also know that those people, well, in a way, yes, we are more religious than we are spiritual, in a manner. Because you may find a Nigerian rushing to church or rushing from church that may not stop to help someone weaker or in need of help. So to that extent, you may say we are more religious than we are spiritual. However, I also know that even if that is a moral failing for a Nigerian sometimes, when he is in his element, praying to his God, is a deeply spiritual thing. And that doesn't only cover when we are in church, it also covers, or in the mosque, it also covers those people who are even traditionalists. We are very in touch with the Godhead. I grew up knowing my grandfather. He had this tripod in the middle of our compound. In the morning, he will go stand there, say some prayers to his God. That is who he knew at the time. And then do some libations on the ground, and he will leave. And then there was the gathering of the children from time to time to pray for all of us and all that. So the Nigerians really believe in spirituality. I don't want to just say that we are more religious. I think we are really deeply spiritual. The ways of expressing it may be in an exaggeration. I think that's the problem. We express it in exaggerated manners, thinking that is the way we should go.
Okay, then. Now I'm going to take it this way. 4 things you've said. I'm going to ask you this question. So the thing is, what is the downside of our being resilient? What is the downside of our being funny? What is the downside of our being spiritual? And what is the good side of being corrupt?
This one, I don't know. Well, that's a good one. You ask very insightful questions. What is the downside of being resilient? Yes. The downside of being resilient is that we tolerate nonsense. What Nigerians have tolerated from their political leaders The Arab Spring arose without so much as that. There's too much wrong going on and we just tolerate it. Even in the community, the academia where I find myself, too many things have gone wrong. And you find colleagues just saying, let his tenor come and go. We'll fix it when it's our own tenor. So we are willing to take a lot of nonsense just because we know that no matter how bad it gets, we'll survive. We have that resilient spirit. So for me, I think that's the downside, because I've learned, even when I'm in corporate settings and we are speaking or we are trying to call truth to power, we shroud our criticism in so many respectful terms that the effect of it is lost on the offending politician. And I've always told people that is why politicians don't change. Because when we go to gatherings or town hall meetings where we should say it the way it is, like, you're a thief. If you're a thief, you're a thief. You stole money like this, you're a thief now. But you see, we can't say that. So we are responsible people. We are resilient. And because we know that even if he steals, we'll survive. So we say things like, I may be wrong, but don't you think you should look at another way of not spending our money? So we try to count, and it makes a lot of sense. But at the end, the politician, if he has stolen so much, he needs to be told that he's a thief, because sometimes you need to shock people out of their wickedness. And I have learned that I use that method a lot, and it works for me more. I get more angry people, but I get more people more careful about doing what I have complained about. Like recently at a board meeting, I told somebody he wasn't telling the truth. I didn't even say you are not lying, because everybody, all my colleagues, just kept dancing around it. Actually, sir, this is not what happened. Actually, sir, this is... And as much as they tried to tell him that, sir, this is how it happened, he was sticking to his own narrative that was a lie. And I knew it was a lie because I was a principal party to it. And I knew he was lying. Because text messages had been sent back and forth between him and another principal officer telling him what had gone wrong. So the reason for what had gone wrong was already stated in the messages he got. But he was trying to deflect, to blame another, he was trying to deflect to blame another colleague. He wanted another colleague to take the fall. And people kept trying to tell him that, no, but, I just had enough of it. So I just told him, you're not telling the truth. Why can't you just tell the truth? He was shocked because he was an older colleague, but after the uproar, everybody settled down and he knew he was not telling the truth. So sometimes that for me is the downside of being resilient. We take too much nonsense. And because we take too much nonsense, we suffer for longer. Because you see these politicians, now if we call them out, maybe in 2005, maybe by now they would have arranged themselves. But we are here petting them, talking to them nicely, maturely. That's a good way. I'm not saying respectful. I'm all for respect, but I'm also all for telling the truth respectfully. But don't go and be shrouding it in these sugar-coated things that they don't really understand, what is going on. So that for me is the downside of being resilient.
Okay, so
then
let's go to the next one now.
Yes, what was the next one?
Funny.
Was that corruption or religion?
Funny.
Okay, well, I don't think there's any downside to being funny, because except that when matters are serious, if you find somebody making light of it, it can be pretty annoying. It can be pretty annoying because it also deflects, because we are talking serious business and you are making a jest. It makes people lose the seriousness of our discussion. I think that would be the downside, but not so much so, because most times when we are funny as Nigerians, it's because we're just trying to let off steam. So for me, there's not so much downside about it as much as for being resilient. Then for corruption, the downside of being corrupt is what we already know. The effects of corruption is too many people are now poor. We are not really developing as a nation, and we're just stagnant. As a country, we don't even, today, we are 56, 57? How old are we today?
65.
54? Oh, are we just 55?
65, 65.
Oh, 65, right. 65, right. Exactly. So we are 65, and there are things that we should have gone past. For instance, this power issue. I really don't understand why we are still struggling with power in 2025. I don't understand why every government that comes on board cannot fix it. I don't know why it's unfixable. If the national grid is the problem, let's find alternative sources of power. If that means cutting down our expenses, I think it's something we should do. And the fact that our political class are refusing to do it and are still steeped in corruption is what troubles me. Because as much as they continue to do that, the younger people will continue to emulate them, because as people, we just copy. So when you begin to hear stories about how Nigerians have stolen millions, it makes you wonder, because such a person sometimes may be a governor, and then when they tell you the amount he has amassed for himself, he can fix a road, he can build a hospital, he can, make transport easier for the people. So it then makes you wonder, why are we amassing so much? Are we so poor that we think once we leave, we'll not have food to eat? So that for me is the downside of this our corrupt ways. It means we are sharp, but it also means lots of people go hungry. It means we amass too much for ourselves. Like when I gave you the story of my cousin now, one family will now have about 5 to 6 t-shirts. How many t-shirts did the organization print? And you see, that's how we think. It's okay. That's what we do. Since it's cheap now, they are buying, even on my money. But my question is also about your value system. Why don't you think that another family may want 1 or 2, so they should be able to get? Why don't you, if you take 5, and maybe we are 5 from our establishment down, that means 5 of us would have taken like 25 for one group alone. So everybody's not going to get. And that is the mentality of the average politician. And so that's what they are now teaching all of us. Once you go to somewhere and you can get something, get it for yourself and your family members. Forget about the other Nigerian, which is wrong, because we are all stakeholders in this country. You talking are not more Nigerian than me. You leading me, you're not more Nigerian than me. It is the same rights you have being born in Nigeria of Nigerian parents that I also have. So where do you get off thinking that you can earn more in any given situation? If I give you an opportunity to sit in the House of Reps, before you say blink, you hear that the Senate is buying brand new cars for all senators. Hello? Do all Nigerians have brand new cars? And then you hear them say things like, hey, you don't know the work that is involved in it. Excuse me, as much as I know, my car is not a brand new car, but it drives me to work and back. And what happened to your own personal car before you got there? They can give you some allowances to refurbish it, but why do we buy them cars every 4 years? This is all corruption. And the downside is that it affects the average man. You take so much for yourself that your fellow Nigerian is at a loss, is struggling, is managing. And like we all pray, Nigeria should not happen to us. Because you see, that mentality of selfishness that comes with corruption is why the other day I was reading in the papers that a woman's shop was burning, and they called some security operatives, please help. And then those ones said, that's not our job.
Not nice.
How did we become that until the shop, entire shop was? How did we become that? So we have now become selfish in ourselves. So that's the downside of that corruption that I find.
Okay.
And then as for unintelligent people, I don't think there's any downside yet. Thanks.
Okay, you don't think there's any downside to being intelligent? Well, I understand all you have said in regards to what the downside of being resilient is, and it makes so much sense to the fact that when you are very resilient, sometimes you don't know when to leave, you don't know when to let go. The idea of us not saying never give up, sometimes we apply it in the wrong way. We take it to the very extreme, which may sometimes, so people then go into doing stuff like Yahoo to get money by all means there, which is a downside. And if you check that is being resilient. I hear that the armed robber, somebody who plans a very successful armed robbery situation, is a project manager in disguise. For him to be able to plan to attack somebody and does it well, that's a project manager. And that particular skill can be deployed in the right way. And then the other side of being funny is that sometimes we don't take things very serious. Anything that pops, people can crack a joke from it. they can begin to say stuff. And you're wondering, I am talking about serious matters. So the downside of being funny sometimes could be
Yeah,
we may not respond as
yeah,
much as we should respond. And then part of being
yeah,
spiritual, like you rightly mentioned in your words, is that sometimes what we say God will do it when we should actually get to work. We say God will do it. God's time is the best
exactly,
when we should actually get to
exactly.
work. And then the part of being corrupt, I think it takes a very skilled person to be corrupt. I mean, for you to be corrupt successfully, you have to be very, very talented. Just that skill, you are using it in the wrong way, and which is something that Nigerians have to wake up from and begin to position ourselves even better to the world. Thank you so much for the answers you have given to the questions, and I'm guessing anybody who wants to buy the book at the moment already has the perspective of what the book is about. Get ready to laugh, but also get ready to learn, get ready to get entertained as you read through the book. Thank you so much, Dr. Anne, for your time here with us today. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
and
All right.
not just get ready the
Okay,
person
tell me.
who reads the book will also understand how we are as a people. Several cultural traits we exhibit are also in the
Mm-hmm,
book. Like I say, how we all jump up and shout about NEPA,
mm-hmm.
how Suya is a culture of the Nigerian, and Suya must be in an old newspaper. We can't pack it in foil. That's how we are as a people. So I also talk about how we worship in church, how every Nigerian Christian or Muslim is a good Christian or Muslim until you try to move them from their chair. We like sitting where we want to sit in church on Sunday. Until the usher comes there and say, move. Then that's when you know that we are not finding all of those kinds of things funny. So those are the kinds of things we talk about in the book. Really funny, but you learn a lot about Nigerians. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely there. Thank you very much. Now, if you're watching right now, you will notice that I am on my screen already. I am trying to help you see how you are able to buy the book on the Bookie website. So this is how it works. You go to the Bookie website. Let me start again so that okay, I think we just start here. We just start here. So this is it. I've clicked on that particular logo there. This is the home page of Bookie. Just point the arc. Yeah, you see that. This is it. And then you click on, scroll down a bit, you click on the act of being Nigerian. You click on the act of being Nigerian. Then you then find this, you find Dr. Anne's store on the Bookie website, and then you can add to cart. You can add to cart there. I'm just showing you how to buy the book so that you are able to get the book. Then when you get here, you see you have view cart up here, view cart up here. You could just click on view cart there. You click on view cart there, and it will take you to a page that I believe will require you to make the payment. Let's see what pops. Okay, so we're here now, ladies and gentlemen. We have just one copy. If you want to buy more than one copy, you could just click two. You click the plus sign, there's going to increase. If you want to buy one, you take it back to one, and then you proceed to make your payment. Okay, you proceed to make your payment. Here, you're supposed to fill in your details, and then you click order. Very easy to do there. And then for the other book, let's go to for the book by Chisom. Chisom for the book by Chisom. This is how to do it. Just come to the search box here and set for from reviewed. Just from reviewed. Then you have entered there. From reviewed, you have enter. Okay. Let's go again now. Let's start with from. Let's start with from. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what to write. Let's see that front. Okay. We got to look at that. We have to check the keywords. So the book, every book has a keyword. That's the way books are found easily. So, but luckily for us, the book is on the first page. Okay. And then you have that Tisom Veronica Akumaeze. Then you come here. This is the picture here. The picture here. And then you click on Add to Cart. You click on Add to Cart. The book is for free. The book is for free. It's for free. Okay, you click on View Cart. View Cart is there. Okay, now because I already initiated transaction process for the Act of Being Nigerian by Dr. Anne, I will have to take this out because now I want to get only Veronica's book. But if that's what you want to do, you can even proceed to buy both, and then you can proceed to buy both. You have a total here of 10,000 naira because Veronica's book is for free. You're only paying for Dr. Anne's book. Okay. So whichever one you want to do, you can close this. You can close this. If I close this now, this will change to 0 naira because the book is for free. You see that there, 0 naira there. So let's get this free book. Let's get this free book. So we see how that works. I fill in my details here already. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Please order. Please order. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what pops. Let's see what pops. Okay. What do we have here? My order has been received. My order has been received. And then I can click on this link. I click on this link and then the book downloads. Yeah. Yeah, there's a copy of the book now. There's a copy of the book now. Okay. There's a copy of the book now. That's how to buy the books. That's how to buy the books. Okay. That's how to buy either Dr. Anne's book or the book by Veronica Chisom. Thank you everyone for joining. I've been getting messages privately of people who are desirous of putting their books on the Booki website there. Thank you for that. If you have any question you want to ask me, you could reach out to Temilei or reach out to me privately, and I will respond to you as soon as I get your message. As soon as I get your message, I will respond as soon as possible. But if there are questions you want to ask that you can ask here, let's see. Let me see what questions I've been asked. I answer it one time for all here. Yeah, it's publishing on Booki free. Yes, it's free. You can publish book for free there. You publish your book for free. But what we do is the commission from the sale of the book, we take a percentage of the sales to be able to make it happen. And then for authors as well, for authors, we also make sure that we create an opportunity for them to have the audio version of their books, that authors can have the audio version of their books. In other words, that an author can have a book that is written already, can have the audio version of the book so that you're able to make money from different parts. There are different ways to make money from your book. And if you rely on only the document format of your book, you will reduce your earning capability. You will reduce the capacity for you to earn more money. Yeah. So we create the opportunity for authors to be able to sell their books in different versions. Also bear in mind that the Booki platform can accommodate audiobooks. It's not only documents that you can upload on the Booki website. You can also upload audio versions of your book so that people who want to buy audiobooks, the website has, let me go to the website again just to do that a bit. Let me go to the website again to show you how the website makes for. Okay, cool. So I think it's still sharing. Beautiful. Let's go to the website to show you how that you're able to upload your audiobook on the Booki website. Okay, on the Booki website. There's the audio portion of the website that you could put your book on and then begin to make money. So look at this. Let's look at this. This is something here, you see. So let's go now. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. So can you see something now? Did you see what I just happened now? See, did you see audiobook now? Audiobook there. So there's the audiobook version. This book now is an audiobook. This one here, How to Speak to Anyone Anywhere, is an audiobook that is has been uploaded there by the author of the book, so that people who prefer to buy audiobooks can read it, can listen to it, and then can make the best out of it. And the author makes money in dual form. So that's an opportunity we also give to our authors to be able to get that done. Yes, if you need guidance on how to write your next book, you can also let us know there at the Booki or send me a direct message. Well, this is the point where I say thank you all for joining. We're going to be having one-on-one sessions with our authors um, going forward from the month of November, I believe. We would be getting in depth into your next project. And if you're working on the next project, the project you're working on, maybe a book you're already working on, and you want us to be able to have conversations on that already online, people can begin to pay attention to you. We are also open to that, where we're going to have a conversation. So every month I'm going to be interviewing one author every month going forward as much as possible, so that we can get more authors getting their words out there. And I believe that this session today has been eye-opening, and I guess our authors as well who were interviewed today had a fantastic time sharing and espousing even more as part of the work they have done. Well, this is the point where I say thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate you. We're going to also cut out the different clips for the authors. So authors, get ready. We're going to cut out the different clips for you so you can post in social media platforms and then people can begin to get your book. The goal of for this meeting wasn't just to interview you. It was to make sure that you're able to have something as well that you can put out there to say, okay, go and get my book. It's going to impact you and improve you as much as you get the book there. I hope this was okay, let me see. Oh wow. Okay, this didn't even display the other time. Let me put it there now. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. So let me take this out. Let me take this down. Take this down. Move from studio. Okay, go studio. So let's put this one there. Okay, cool. So I was saying, this was what I was saying before, that this website, the Booki website, has the audio book, okay, has the audio book there that is different. So apart from just putting your PDFs there, the website has the audio book region that affords for, where are you again? Yeah, so this is the audio book. So you see, this is book, this one is book, this 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 is audio book. Okay, this is audio book. Authors, get ready. We're going to cut out this clip, the different clips of your interview session, so that you're able to post it everywhere and get more persons to see your work and then can begin to engage with you. Okay, then. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you very much. Thank you.